Man, guys, welcome back. And before we get started, today's gonna be a good day. Hope you guys staying positive, loving yourself, and doing makes you happy. Now, guys, we are back with another reaction video. I just love this Jubilee YouTube channel because I love the kind of topics that they do. Like I said, they do like a lot of uncomfortable topics, political topics, and just a variety of everything. And I came across this video, and this video was called "Can Teens and Parents Understand Each Other?" And I really wanted to watch this video and react to it because I feel like this is one of the biggest problems that we have in this world right now. Parents not understanding their kids and kids not understanding their parents. So I would like to see what these people say about it, and I will get my input on it. So I'm not gonna waste no time, and let's get into the video.
Thanks so much for joining this episode, guys. We love making this stuff to bring all types of people together.
Yes, and we did do this topic in a previous Middle Ground episode, but due to your feedback, we chose to bring back this topic with teens and parents that do not know each other.
Also, if you want to be in
Also, don't know each other.
I
Okay.
love reading your stories. Fill out the casting form below. Enjoy.
One of the biggest things I believe in is you don't need a mother, you don't need a father, you need a parent.
What she mean by that though? We brought teens and parents together to spark a dialogue about their differences and similarities. Okay.
My name is Anthony Cabasa. I have 3 children, and I'm a veteran, and I'm a parent, and I'm happy to be here.
My name is Cassandra Roy. I am a life coach, and I have one son, David Alexander, who is a full-time MFA student at Yale University on a full scholarship.
My name is Marissa Gold. I have 2 children. They're 13 and 10, and I also have a parenting company. I run social and emotional empowerment groups for tween and teen boys and girls.
I'm Elizabeth, I'm 18. Next year I'll be going to school to study nursing, and I have 2 dads and a brother.
My name is Adam. I'm 15 years old, and currently I'm working on starting my own clothing brand.
Okay.
I'm Amber. I am a computer science and engineering major at UC Irvine.
I feel too stressed.
The first source of stress in your life is probably your parents, something from your parents. And it kind of, with your parents' expectations, it kind of builds. At least for me, it did.
My parents immigrated from India, and so they went to college in India, and I'm a first generation Indian American. I did robotics, I did music, I did volunteering in high school, and I got into college. They were like, you should finish college in like 3 years. Like, yes, it's 4 years, but finish it earlier, save money, do a master's program. Finish master's early, try and do a PhD. Get a job while you're at it. I don't even think I would be in college if it wasn't for my parents. But the fear of disappointing my parents is terrifying. If I wanted to pursue something else,
I feel like that's for like every kid. Like a lot of times the reason, even me growing up, a lot of times I've I've done things, to impress my parents and stuff like that. And like I said, I feel like that goes for any child. Like growing up, like for example, playing football. I played football because I wanted to please my parents, and I understood what football could do for me, my mom, my dad, everybody in my family or whatever. But that's definitely one of the biggest problems when it comes to kids nowadays. They don't really have that that kind of close relationship with their parents to make them understand, like, I'm doing these things because this is what I feel like um you expect of me. You know what I mean? And I feel like is the times we in now, we need to have those parents. Me being a dad, me having a son, I want to be that parent to be like, hey son, what do you want to do with your life? Okay, how can I help you? How can I lay out that blueprint for you to get what you want and to get what you want to do in life. So I like that she said that, and I also like her name. What's her name? New Prue or something? I like it. It's different. I know she
I would
Indian,
do
but
it
it's
after
Indian, but it's
college.
tight
I
though.
would do it after I got a job, I was stable, after I've fulfilled what I needed to fulfill for my parents.
It pains me to hear how stressed you already are, because I think as adults, like, we know, like, it doesn't end.
And like
you know?
and like and like you would think like as parents, you would think like, growing up, you were stressed because of your parents and what they expected of you. So you would think, okay, I'm not gonna do my child like this, so I'm gonna raise them different to not be stressed, to be there for them, to help them. So that's what she said though.
Oh, it's like it just like it gets harder and hard. Like unfortunately, like life gets exciting and it goes in dips and waves and whatever.
But there's no alternative. You just keep going. There's no option to quit.
I felt like the last kid being chosen for the baseball team. Don't be too hard on your parents
Yeah,
because they're doing the best they can with the information that they have.
totally, 100% agree with her, 100%.
And in terms of you, I would really strongly suggest that you sit down and have a conversation with them
Yes, ma'am.
because you may not understand this, but they know something's not settling with you.
My parents have tried talking to me. The walls are already there, and if you don't have the foundation, it's hard to start at a later age.
I have struggled to be honest with my family.
Oh, this should be interesting. That's what they say.
I mean, I was in the closet for 13 years, so that was one thing. It's almost like as soon as I came out of the closet, everything else did. I started being more open. I talked to more people. I learned how to express myself through art and through clothing, which I'm now doing.
For me personally, I have struggled with an eating disorder from the time I was 11 until just recently. I mean, you're always in recovery if you have an eating disorder. So much of that mental illness is lying and going behind people's backs. My parents had to sit outside of my shower at night to make sure I wasn't throwing up. They had to check in with my friends to make sure I was eating. All of these things, there was absolutely no trust, and I still couldn't feel like I could tell them anything because my mental illness wouldn't let me. I have worked so hard to regain all of my trust, and now my parents trust me to absolutely no end. They know I will tell them the truth in any circumstance.
In my family, we don't talk about mental illness or depression or anything like that. We don't talk about sex in my family. Saying the word sex in my house is like taboo. And slowly, my dad has tried reaching out, but it's very like Savine. Like he once told me in high school, "Hey,
That's one thing I want to have with my son. Never be afraid to come and ask me any question because I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I'm a I'm a I'm gonna give you that knowledge and the information I do know, but I'm gonna say, son, I don't know everything. So if there's something that that you've learned and I can't give that answer, take that initiative, be that person to go figure it out on your own. I never want my son to be that person to see something out there in the world and be afraid of it, be scared of it. You know what I'm saying? I just want to be there for my son. 100%. Whatever questions he have.
you should go into this body positivity workshop in school." Like he could tell that I wasn't happy with the way I looked. I couldn't ever really come out to them about the fact that, oh, I had depression. Oh, I'm going to see a therapist in college now.
I think for me, my struggle with being honest with my family is that growing up, I was Christian and everything was solved through prayer and reading the Bible. If you were depressed, prayer and Bible. If you wanted to have a girlfriend, hey, that's not allowed, prayer and Bible. My mom was a very fierce female individual in my life. Her motto has always been, your life is going to suck all the time. And if you set that baseline, then you'll never be disappointed because you always expect the worst. By growing up that way, I feel like maybe I'm a stronger individual, but that communication was never there and the honesty was definitely not there because there's things that I would do and I'm like, well, that's definitely not Christian-like, so I'm not gonna tell her that. What I hope to instill in my children, it's like, hey, no matter who you are, who you love, I'm not gonna be like my mom where she's like, no, you have to be this perfect
Yes,
inside
sir.
of a
You
box
let your
person.
Personally, I've
let your
gone through the same
let
thing.
your child, let your son, let your daughter be their own person. Never. The world already gonna judge them. Just for being different. But as a parent, be there for be their peace. You know what I'm saying? Be there for them.
Thing. But now I know that I can tell them absolutely anything. When I first started telling my parents that I was having sex, I was never met with, that's horrible, you need to stop, you're not a good person, none of that. The first response was always, thank you for telling us. Let's, provide protection.
She's
Just in that
she's comfortable
scenario,
around parents.
I
That's
knew
good.
I could be honest with my parents and absolutely anything moving forward, but it was hard to tell them that.
As an adult, as a wife and a parent, the truth was always the best weapon, for lack of a better word,
Excuse me.
to lead with, because it cut down on hurt, it cut down on pain, it cut down on frustration. Have I always been honest? Of course not, I'm human. I like to think I've been honest about the stuff that was important, but I've learned that honesty is in fact the best policy, and it's just easier all around for me.
Social media can be very positive.
It can. I was about to say, ain't no parents gonna move. Oh, okay, here we go. Okay. Here we go.
I honestly think that social media and the internet in general has probably been
Man,
one of
I've said this in a lot of my videos. Like, if you're on social media just to mess around, just to watch what people going, that's not a good reason to be on social media. I feel like the only time you need to be on social media, the positive side of being on social media, if you're trying to be like an entrepreneur, you know what I'm saying? You're trying to be like a YouTuber, a content creator, a gamer, in that kind of aspect. If you're trying to get attention in the algorithm to bring you income, then yeah, that's okay to use social media. But if you're on social media, just be on there to see what people got going, just to flex, to show everybody what you got. Then no, that's toxic. You'll get to comparing yourself to others. Just all kind of mess that can make you to just depressed and stressed. So let's see what they say though.
if not the best thing in my life. Having no like queer role models, seeing no artistic expression around me in the real world where I am, but discovering all of that through the internet.
I would not have found out I was asexual without the internet. I would not have known what asexuality was. I would not have even known that was a word. Because, at least in school and at home, we never talked about this.
Now, no, 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 no. There are benefits of being on social media, like like you do learn certain things. I'm glad she said that because you do learn certain things from being on social media, but it also depends on the kind of content that you're looking at, the kind of content that you're soaking in, and putting it towards your actions. So
It's like a little bit like, okay, is it more positive than negative? But I think I'm going to use like to my own testimony, like how it's been for me. I started a social media page under the alias conservative.latino, and I get a lot of hate mail, and I get a lot of people calling me a race traitor, calling me, a fake this, a fake that. They call me names. They wish death upon my family and my children. And I see a lot of the profiles don't even have pictures. And then I go to their profiles, 0 followers, 0 posts, 0 nothing. And I'm just like, man, these people
You're just
really
on here to hate.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of them aren't even people, they're bots.
Yeah, exactly.
I used to play video games, and at some point, I actually decided to use my voice in a video game. And I am a female in the video game community, and there's a lot of masculine toxicity. Every single day, guys would hit on me. I was 15 years old, and these guys were like 20, 30s. They would like gift me games, ask to me out, and usually it was fine. I can always be like no, and most of them were respectful. Sometimes it would escalate. They would threaten to find out where I live. They would threaten to rape me. The point when I realized I
what?
had to like get away from all this is when someone threatened to rape me, and I actually got
You
scared.
see what I mean?
This
Like,
couldn't be a better illustration of a parent's worst nightmare when it comes to social media, right? And how quickly it can escalate, and especially like you were 15, which is pretty young, but there are kids, boys and girls, that this is happening to when they're 8, 9, 10. They have no idea how to handle it, and they don't know how to even talk to their parents about it because they innately feel that there's something off, but they also feel like they could get in trouble if they bring it to their parents.
And I'll be honest, like my daughter has been asking me since she was like 6, can I please start a YouTube channel? Can I, like, that's been her dream. But I go on these articles and I'm hearing about like all this online bullying, and especially with females, I feel it's a larger thing because I was like a youth pastor for
it's
my
like
old
it's
church.
like going off based on what he said with his daughter wanted to be a YouTuber. Like, I mean, I'm a male obviously, but I can't say like everybody's not gonna agree with everything that you do. Like it be times where I post on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, whatever, with my pretty normal stuff. And everybody is not always gonna agree with you. Like I've got some hateful feedback before on a lot of my stuff, but you know I'm gonna do what I believe in. I'm gonna do what I feel like is best for me. You gotta understand when you're doing things in this world, especially by yourself, you have to accept the feedback. You have to understand that these things will or may happen to you. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that he said that.
And a lot of them would tell me that if they're on social media, they would be receiving illicit pictures from grown adults. So I'm like scared, I'm terrified, but at the same time, I feel like I'm almost punishing my daughter.
When she does start to explore that, I would say don't take it away because that's going to make her angry and she's going to find a way to go on it anyways because there's
Mm-hmm.
so many access points for
Mm-hmm.
social
I
media.
agree with her.
Yeah, that's why like I'm just like very concerned because as a social media influencer, I see what I get in my DMs and I see the type of content that people leave on my, and I would never want, because
It's probably part of why she wants to do it because she sees her dad doing
right,
it.
yeah,
So
she
you're
sees it,
modeling
yeah, exactly.
You know,
She's
I mean,
like,
the kids want to do what they see their parents doing
exactly.
often.
Do any of the teens here feel that sometimes their parents are hypocrites for phone and social media usage?
I see more texting while driving in the parents' generations. They don't know about the technology. They'll be like, oh, I'm just gonna check this really quick. And that's what causes a lot of accidents.
My dad has a Velcro patch on his steering wheel and a Velcro on the steering wheel. I'm dead serious. It's really bad. He doesn't understand that you can leave people on red. Like you don't have to respond to people in the moment. If my parent texts,
that.
I
I
mean, you
always
guys are
just
totally
feel
right.
like I need to reply right then and there.
Yeah.
I'm just like, no.
The parent
Maybe it's
generation
like an
does,
OCD thing.
for
Like, I
sure,
don't know.
more
I like
than
dude, bro.
I see it
He
all the
genuine.
time.
I wish my parents listened to me more.
There definitely are times that I remember growing up and even now as an adult where I feel like when my mom and I talk about things that she sometimes doesn't hear really, like I have to say something
Now,
over.
with this question, of course, our parents they want the best for us. Um, our parents, they don't know everything. You know what I mean? So they're only going off based on what they grew up on and what they learned from their parents and what they learned from this world on how you should be and like how you should act. But as parents, I feel like that we need to understand our children. There's nothing wrong with learning from your children. There's actually a lot of things that you can learn from your children. Um, but let's continue to see what they say though.
Over and over and over and go back to it, and it's really hard for her sometimes to hear something because it's not what she wants to hear.
I'd have to say my father. He's what we call like the weekend dad, right? Because that's when we could go visit him, was every other weekend. And growing up, he sat in front of the TV the entire time, and he wasn't a good listener. He wasn't someone that I ever felt that I could come to for anything, really. And he just feels like the world owes him everything. Sometimes he would call me literally as I'm in class, and I would text him and be like, hey, I can't talk right now, but this. He's like, how come you're always so busy? How come you never have time for me? It just got to the point where he was making me feel like complete garbage, and he would say hateful things to me. And I was like, you know what? Out of all your children, I'm the only one that still talks to you. And I am trying to do the best that I can. And no matter what, it was just never good enough for him.
Mm-hmm.
I feel so fortunate to have the parents that I do. Anytime I approach them with a problem, I am heard, I am supported, and usually hugged. So growing up, I had so many people think that I was missing out on something because I didn't have a mom, and that I wouldn't be able to learn about like what it is to be a woman or what it is to, have your period or whatnot. I had so many people approach me and be like, oh, well, I know you're missing a mother, but I'm always here if you want to talk. And I'm like, no, I can talk to my parents about that. One of the biggest things I believe in is you don't need a mother, you don't need a father, you need a parent.
My mother.
I've loved that you don't need a father, you don't need a mother, you need a parent. Totally understand. That's gonna go over a lot of people's head, but I got it.
2 jobs, but she was never too busy to talk to me. She was dead tired sometimes. So what we did was every Saturday we would hang out. We would clean the house first, get dressed, get lunch, and that was our time to talk. Whatever was on my mind, that was a good time to bring it up. So it let me know that I could talk to her. And that's what I've done with David. Every Saturday we had David's Day when he was growing up. So if he wanted to eat McDonald's 3 times a day, we tried to convince him for dinner to eat something else. But you get my point,
Yes.
that it allowed him to speak freely. It's important that we continue to encourage one another, because you will keep us young and we will be able to put some wisdom on you.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, and hopefully we will listen to each other.
I think that if everybody can just have moments where they just tell their parents that they love them, have an honest conversation, a supportive conversation from both sides, I think that we need more of that.
I like that one. I really did like that one.
So nice meeting you. You take care.
Thanks so much for joining, guys. We really loved revisiting this topic.
Yeah, and it makes you just wonder how, we were like as teenagers and our parents, right?
Don't remind me.
We are trying to revamp Middle Ground. If you guys have ideas of how to revamp,
I really liked that video. I really liked the things that was said in that video. But yeah, that was another Jubilee reaction videos. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, which I will have in the description below. Guys, the Breathe Normal merch shop is now out. Check it out at breathenormalagain.myspreadshop.com. Will also be in the description below. Man, I can't talk sometimes. But guys, remember to stay positive, love yourself, do what makes you happy. And now before we go, today's gonna be a good day.